Welcome to Amalfi Sports, an Amalfi Media show for the sports lover. I'm Sara, host of the podcast No Fear Finance. I don't typically have much to say when it comes to sports, but there is one sport that I'm a huge fan of: competitive eating. Yes, that's right, competitive eating, and it is a professional sport. Competitions can be found on ESPN, and they even have a governing body called the Major League Eating. Today, I'm going to share my predictions for the 2021 Coney Island hot dog eating competition. This is the most famous Major League Eating event out there. It is held every 4th of July in New York City on Coney Island. It is a spectator sport, typically with 30,000 fans, all wearing hot dog hats and screaming. I've never attended, but I'll be there in 2022. Last year, this was just a televised event, but for 2021, it'll be live with about 10,000 fans. Still a great number, but I want to be there with all the hustle and bustle. And I will be getting a hot dog hat and wearing it for the rest of my life. Before I go into my predictions for this year's contest, I want to go over the history of this famous hot dog eating contest as well as about the Major League Eating, especially looking at top competitive eaters and even the rankings for the best competitive eaters in the world. The legend says that in 1916, 4 immigrants gathered together on the 4th of July and wanted to see who was more patriotic. They decided that the person who ate the most hot dogs would be deemed the most patriotic. The first ever winner was Jim Mullen, an Irish immigrant, eating 13 hot dogs. This is a story that is told every year, but for the first officially recorded Coney Island hot dog eating contest, that was held in 1972. There were other contests before this, but this is the first year a record of the hot dog winners was recorded. The first ever winner of the hot dog eating contest was Jason Schechter, a Brooklyn College student who ate 14 hot dogs in 3.5 minutes. His prize for winning was a coupon for 40 free hot dogs. Even at this first event, the men and women were separated, and there was an article about Melanie Andover, the winner of the female competition. She ate 12 hot dogs in 5 minutes, and in the article that I found, it even says that after the competition, she went and ate a sandwich for lunch. This contest has changed significantly since then, from who is competing to how long and how many hot dogs are being eaten, and even the prize for the winners. The participants in the first few years of the hot dog eating contest were normal people like you and me. In that first year, the winner was a college student. In 1974, a Brooklyn native, Roberto Murrell, aged 24, was the winner. He ate 10 hot dogs in 3.5 minutes. In an article I found, he said he still felt hungry after the competition and went on to eat an 11th hot dog. A few years later, in 1981, Thomas DeBerry, 35 years old, won the competition by eating 11 hot dogs in 5 minutes out of the 10 minutes. What happened was he left halfway through to attend a barbecue with his family. Despite leaving halfway, he did win that year's contest. 5 years later, Mark Heller won the contest by eating 15.5 hot dogs in 10 minutes, but was 2 hot dogs shy of being the current record of 17 hot dogs, won by Walter Paul in 1978. Beginning in 1988, we start to see familiar names popping up on Nathan's famous Hot Dog Eating Contest Hall of Fame. That year, Jay Green won eating 10 hot dogs, and he won the following year in 1989 and ate 15.5 hot dogs. This is the first ever consecutive winner of this contest. In 1990, he's beat by Mike the Scholar DeVito. Mike ends up winning the hot dog eating contest 3 more times. His first in 1990, and then 2 consecutive times in 1993 and 1994. It took 19 years for the first ever winner to break 20 hot dogs. In 1991, Frank Large de la Rosa ate 21.5 hot dogs, the record for the most hot dogs eaten in 10 minutes. The following year, he won again, eating 19 hot dogs. Then, in 1997, the Major League Eaters was born. This is a governing body that organizes competitive eating contests and manages all the rankings of the top eaters. And this is where we really see a pickup in the number of hot dogs being consumed at this contest. That year, Kirofumi Makiyami eats 24.5 hot dogs. No one hits 25 hot dogs for another 3 years. In 2000, Kazutoyo Arai eats 25.5 hot dogs. And this is where Nathan's famous Coney Island hot dog eating contest changes forever. 2001 is a monumental year for competitive eaters and starts the momentum for professional eaters. That year, Kobayashi from Japan ate 50 hot dogs in 10 minutes, making this a new record. He doubled the previous year's record of 25 hot dogs. Prior to this, we did not see the true human feat that it is to eat dozens of hot dogs in 10 minutes. And this makes this a true competitive sport, with rigorous training and pushing the human stomach beyond what we can imagine. For 5 years, Kobayashi is the undefeated champion of this contest. The most hot dogs he ate was 53 3/4 in 2006. During Kobayashi's reign, we start to see the women's competition really pick up. In 2004, Sonia the Black Widow Thomas is the first woman to eat more than 30 hot dogs, eating 32 hot dogs that year and actually coming in 3rd place overall. Then in 2007, the unbelievable happens. Joey the Jaw Chestnut beats Kobayashi by eating 66 hot dogs, 3 more than Kobayashi. This begins the new reign for Joey Chestnut and finally brings back the mustard yellow belt to America. This is the belt that the winner of the men's contest gets, and it resides where the winner lives. The women's get a belt as well, but it's pink and bejeweled. In 1993, the mustard belt was brought back to America after being lost for 20 years in Japan. 2006 must have given both Kobayashi and Chestnut a lot of motivation to train for this competition, because while Kobayashi won in 2006, Joey Chestnut was only 1 3/4 hot dogs away from beating him. We see their hard training that next year and how both Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi increased how many hot dogs they ate, but Joey Chestnut was just that much faster. 2008 is another momentous year in competitive eating. Joey Chestnut and Kobayashi both tie in the 10-minute hot dog eating contest by eating 59 hot dogs. As a tiebreaker, the two men entered into a hot dog eat-off to see who can eat 5 hot dogs fastest. Joey Chestnut won in 50 seconds. This is now his 2nd consecutive title. In 2011, the women eaters were officially part of the Women's Championship, which gave them recognition and a platform to compete against other women competitive eaters. Sonia Thomas continues to be the champion amongst the women, but in 2014, Miki Sudo takes the prize with 34 hot dogs. Since 2014, Miki Sudo has won every competition yet. In 2020, she ate 48.5 hot dogs, which is the women's world record for the most hot dogs in 10 minutes. For 8 years, Joey Chestnut was the winner of this contest. In 2015, though, that all changed. Matt Stoney, 23 at the time, took the mustard belt that year with 62 hot dogs, only 2 more than Joey Chestnut. Matt Stoney came out of nowhere for some, but if you look at his stats from the first time he competed, this was no surprise. In 2011, Stoney was in 6th place, eating 34 hot dogs. In 2012, 4th with 46. 2013, 2nd with 56. And 2014, 2nd with 56. But in his year of victory, he jumped to 62 hot dogs. By looking at these numbers, you can tell that Matt Stoney seriously started to train. This defeat for Joey Chestnut definitely made him up his game in training. Chestnut's highest number of hot dogs eaten before this was 69, but the year following his defeat, he finally ate 70 hot dogs, a new record. Joey Chestnut has been the consecutive winner since 2016, and in 2020, he hit a brand new record of hot dogs eaten at 75 hot dogs. Before we look at who's competing for this year, I want to quickly explain the background and the history of competitive eating and the training that is involved. We can see that both Joey Chestnut and Miki Sudo are 2 great athletes, and they take training to the next level. Every competitive eater is different, but the key to being a top competitive eater is being fairly fit and having a strict training schedule. What's happening is that these athletes are stretching their stomachs to hold more than you and I can, as well as training their mouths, jaws, throats, and breathing to swallow the sheer amount of food that they have to in a short amount of time. Competitive eating is truly crazy. It's not just eating a massive amount of food, but it's also doing it in the shortest amount of time possible. Joey Chestnut has talked about his training schedule. For Nathan's hot dog competition, he begins training around April for 3 months straight. He practices on the weekend every weekend and then gives himself a few days to recover. After a practice session of eating a massive amount of food, He eats mostly greens to help his stomach digest, and we all know the magic of fiber. Then he'll fast a day and a half before the next practice session, and he'll only have water with lemon and coffee. When he eats, he is only eating one meal a day, consisting of a large salad with a protein. To keep up his physical health, he runs and does yoga a few times a week. These two things help him with his breathing, which is a secret to his competitions. Another key thing that he does is he journals what he eats and drinks to see how his body reacts. Understanding his body is important to him, and it helps him know what to expect when eating certain foods. You can definitely tell that he was an engineer with how precise his training is. Most other serious competitive eaters do the same type of training and techniques as Chestnut. I think Chestnut's training schedule is the most intense and starts the earliest, but he is the #1 ranked eater for this reason. You'll also see some eaters doing a jump and body roll to help push food down their stomach. Matt Stoney is well known for this move. Water can also help eaters push down food a little bit faster as well. The training and techniques of a competitive eater gives them the athlete status, in my opinion. As I've mentioned previously, there is a governing body for competitive eaters called the Major League Eating. This group sets up official competitive eating contests and ranks the eaters. MLE was founded by George Shea. However, the official name of this group is the International Federation of Competitive Eating, also known as IFOCE. I want to go over some of the top-ranked eaters and look at some of their numbers compared to Joey Chestnut and Miki Sudo, specifically for the hot dog eating contest. Let me remind you that Joey Chestnut holds the record for 75 hot dogs eaten by a man, and Miki Sudo holds the record for 48.5 hot dogs eaten by a woman. We all know Joey Chestnut is the #1 ranked hot dog eater. Joey was from California, but has recently moved to Indianapolis. I've seen him do some promotional videos around here and even eat some hoagies. I'm hoping to see him in the action since we both live in the same city, and maybe I can even get him on the podcast. The second top eater is Jeffrey Esper from Massachusetts. He ate 47 hot dogs in 2019, putting him in 3rd place that year. Third, we have Darren Breeden from Virginia. The most hot dogs he ate was 50 in 2019, coming up in 2nd place that year. The 4th ranked competitive eater is Matt Stoney. Matt is my favorite competitive eater, and if you haven't done so, check out his YouTube. He's truly amazing. However, hot dog eating might not be his thing, and that's fine. It might not be worth training to eat over 75 hot dogs to beat Joey Chestnut. After his big win in 2015, he slowly ate less and less hot dogs. In 2016, he ate 53, coming in 2nd. In 2017, 48, coming in 3rd. In 2018, 40, coming in 5th. And 2019, 46, coming in 4th. He did not compete in 2020 and is not on the roster for 2021, but more on that later. The 5th ranked eater is Miki Sudo, the first woman to show up on the list. We know she is the current consecutive winner for the women's contest, eating 48.5 hot dogs. If she competed against Jeffrey Esper, Danny Breeden, and Matt Stoney, my bets would be on her winning. 6th, we have Nick Wary from Florida. Last year in 2020, he ate 39.5 hot dogs, coming in 3rd place. 7th is Gideon Oji from Georgia. The most hot dogs he consumed for a competition was in 2018 at 37.5 hot dogs. That year, he was in 6th place. At number 8, we have Max Suzuki from Japan. Max's first event was in 2018. In 2019, he ate 39 hot dogs, putting him in 5th place. At number 9, we have another female, Michelle Lescaut from Arizona. Michelle has been competing for a number of years and has slowly made her way up to 2nd place in the women eaters. The most hot dogs she ate was 32 in 2017. Our 10th eater is Gordon Hazard from Tennessee. A new eater starting in 2018, the most hot dogs he ate was 34 hot dogs in 2019. Skipping around the list, the next top female eater is Sara Rodriguez from Washington. She is ranked 26th. I do want to give a shout out to number 23, Eric Badlands Booker from New York, also known as Badlands Chugs on YouTube. I love his YouTube content. He's known for his insane skills of chugging liquids. My last 2 shout-outs are to the Indiana people on this ranking list. John Gehard from Fishers, Indiana, and Holly Titus from Indianapolis, Indiana. Holly ate 19 hot dogs in 2019. Now it's time to announce the lineup for the men's and women's and give my predictions for who's going to win. Some really surprising news on who will be there and who will not be there, so you definitely want to keep listening. Let's start with the women's lineup. There are 13 women competing this year. I'll start with the no to low rank eaters and work my way up to the top eaters. Our first eater is Christina Rovtar Dunn from New Jersey. This is her second competition. She first competed in 2018 and ate 5 hot dogs. Her mother is also competing, Dr. Renee Rovtar, but more on that later. Christina is a high school art teacher. Next is Prudence DiBenedetto from New York. This is her third contest. Her first contest was in 2013, where she ate 6 hot dogs, and in 2018, she ate 4. Julie Oldberg is our next eater from New York. This is her third contest. Her personal best is 8.5 hot dogs in 2020. Next, we have Dr. Renee Rovtar from New Jersey, mother of the first contestant. This is her 4th contest, and her personal best was 14 hot dogs in 2019. This is the second time she's competing against her daughter, and this is the first mother-daughter combo to compete in this contest. Kelly Wong from California is the 47th ranked eater. This is her second time competing. She ate 10.5 hot dogs in 2019. The 45th eater, Jacqueline Walker from Texas, will be competing this year. This is her third time competing. In 2018, she ate 10.5 hot dogs, her personal best. She's ranked the top 3 eater in Texas. Next is Catherine Tesh from Wisconsin, and she is ranked 44. This is her third contest. Her personal best is 10.5 hot dogs in 2019. And then Indy native Holly Titus will be competing this year. She is ranked 42, and this is her third contest. Her personal best was 11 hot dogs in 2019. Our next eater is Katie Pettyman from Washington. She's ranked 35. This will be her 4th contest. The most hot dogs she's ate was in 2020 with 15 hot dogs. Then we have Sophia DeVita from Texas. She is ranked 33. This will be her 5th time at this contest. Her personal record was in 2017 with 18 hot dogs, putting her in 5th place. She's a goalkeeper for Division I Fairfield University soccer team. At ranking number 20, we have L'Oreal Marie Mealy from Pennsylvania. This is her 11th time at this contest. In 2012, she ate her personal best of 21.25 hot dogs. Next is Sara Rodriguez from Washington. She's ranked 26. This will be her 4th time competing at Nathan's Hot Dog Contest. In 2019, she ate 23 hot dogs, putting her in 4th place. And lastly is Michelle Lesko. Michelle is ranked the 9th eater at MLE. This will be her 10th time competing in this contest. Her personal highest record for this contest was in 2017, where she ate 32 hot dogs. And that is the lineup for the women. You might be asking, where is Mickey? Well, Mickey is not competing this year. She is pregnant, but will be back next year to compete. We know she won't be holding her consecutive victory for female eaters, but her record number of hot dogs still might stand. And if you don't know Mickey's boyfriend, he is the number 6 eater, Nick Wary. With the number 5 and number 6 eaters of all time, this child might be a competitive eater in the making. We'll have to wait and see if Mickey and her child ever compete together. With Mickey out of the running, my predictions for the women's 2020 Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest is that Michelle Lesko will win. I want to wish all of these women good luck, and I hope that everyone has fun. We have to remember that while this is a serious sporting event, it's also a fun event with so much rich history behind it. And now for the men's lineup. Again, starting with either no rank or low rank eaters and working my way up the list. There will be 17 men competing this year. Our first eater is Brian Deadlight Dzinski from Pennsylvania. He's ranked 31 in MLE. This will be his 5th time competing at this contest. His personal best was in 2014, where he ate 34 hot dogs that put him in 5th place. Next, we have Eric the Red Denmark from Arizona. He's ranked 29. This will be his 12th time at this contest, and his personal best is 34 hot dogs in 2014. Then we have Crazy Legs Conti from New York, New York. He's ranked 27. This will be his 9th time competing. His personal best was in 2009 with 25 hot dogs. In 2016, he ate 1 hot dog. At 24, we have Derek Heavy D Hendrickson from Nevada. This will be his 1st time competing at the hot dog contest. Next is Pablo Martinez from California. He's the 21st ranked eater, and this will be his 7th time attending the contest. The most hot dogs he ate was in 2019 with 27 hot dogs. The next eater is Ronnie Megabyte Hartman from New York. He is ranked 18. This will be his 5th time at this contest, and his personal best was 28.5 hot dogs in 2019. He's also known as the hungriest man in pro wrestling. Next is Adrian the Rabbit Morgan from Louisiana. He's ranked 17. This will be his 9th time at the contest, and his personal best was 38 hot dogs in 2013. Adrian is also a pastry chef in New Orleans. From Illinois, we have Juan Morbite Rodriguez, who is ranked number 16. This is his 8th time at the contest, and his personal best is 32 hot dogs in 2018. Next is George Chigger from Pennsylvania. He is ranked 15, and this will be his 4th time competing. His personal best was in 2018 with 42 3/4 of a hot dog. Our next eater is Derek Jacobs from Ohio. He is ranked 13, and this will be his 4th time competing. His personal best was 27 hot dogs in both 2018 and 2019. From Washington, we have Steve Hammond ranked number 12. This is his 1st time competing at Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Contest. The next eater is Gordon Hungry Hazard from Tennessee. He is ranked number 10, and this will be his 3rd time competing. His personal best was in 2019 with 34 hot dogs. Next is Gideon Oji from Georgia. He's ranked number 7, and this will be his 6th time competing. His personal best was 37.5 hot dogs in 2018. Next is ranked number 6, Nick Wary from Florida. This will be his 4th time competing, and his personal best is 39.5 hot dogs in 2020. At number 3, we have Darren Breeden from Virginia. This will be his 5th time competing, and his personal best is 50 hot dogs in 2019, putting him in 2nd place. At number 2, we have Jeffrey Esper from Massachusetts. This will be his 6th time competing, and his personal best was 47 hot dogs in 2020. And finally, returning to defend his current title is Joey the Jaws Chestnut. He is ranked the number 1 eater in the world, and he is the 13-time winner of the hot dog contest. In 2020, he ate 75 hot dogs and beat his record for the most number of hot dogs eaten by a man. There are 2 people not on the list that I was expecting to see. First is Matt Stoney, who defeated Joey Chestnut once. He did not compete in 2020 and will not be competing in 2021. I've not heard why, but I know he's on other contests, so he's still eating competitively. I hope to see him in 2022 when we're in person. He might be doing some intense training to beat Joey Chestnut, but we'll just have to see. The second person who's not on this list is Eric Badlands Booker. He's one of my favorites because of his personality. I was bummed to see that he wasn't on the lineup, but I have breaking news for you all. Badlands will be on the stage between the women and men competition to compete in the World Chugging Championship against the 2nd-ranked chugger. I now understand why Badlands won't be competing. There'll be no room in his stomach after he wins this competition. I am so excited about this, and I hope they show it on ESPN. Without a doubt, Joey Chestnut will win the 2021 men's hot dog eating competition. Will he be able to beat his record? We'll just have to wait and see. 2021 will be different than 2020 because he'll be out in the elements again on a hot 4th of July day. 2020, he was in a controlled environment room, which could have changed things. However, I think if Matt Stoney were competing, he could give him a tough fight. Now, who will win 2nd place though? Because while Joey will win the mustard belt, the other winners will also get a small prize. It's not much, but it's still a prize. And it's not 40 coupons for a free hot dog. The 1st place winner gets $10,000, 2nd place $5,000, 3rd place $2,500, 4th $1,500, and 5th $1,000. My bets are that Darren Breeden will come in 2nd, then Jeffrey Esper coming in 3rd. Now, if you want to watch this contest, at 12 noon, ESPN will be showing the men's competition. The women's competition will be on ESPN3 at 11. There'll also be clips on YouTube after the competition if you don't have cable. This will be held on Sunday, July 4th at the baseball field on Coney Island. I want to thank everyone for listening to the history of the annual hot dog eating contest. I gave you so much history and background on the contest. Make sure you watch it on July 4th and eat some hot dogs while you're watching it. I also want to give a shout out to Major League Eats for providing me with some of the awesome videos and photos that you've been watching if you're on YouTube and some of the background behind this contest. I'll be back on Amalfi Sports to cover more competitive eating. You can expect me to cover other competitions, look at other top-ranked eaters and their records that they hold, and maybe even do some interviews with competitive eaters. Until then, have a great week, happy 4th, and see you all next time.